Okay, guys, making money with Gary. Today is December 7th, 2024. Today is Saturday. I'm out here in front of the house picking pine needles. I've been out here for a few hours. What have I picked? I picked 6 pounds. I picked 6 pounds of longleaf pine needles. How much money? Monetary, money worth? I'd say 150 because I give extra. So I'm calling this $150 worth. And I've been out here 2.5 hours, maybe give or take 10 minutes. So, and I picked the yard clean. There's nothing left in the yard, really. I'm in front of the house in the front yard where I pull the cars in. And I'm going to show you what's in this bag. I mean, it's hard to see because the bag's kind of drooping. But believe me, guys, this is 6 pounds here. Oh, and I'm going to show you what $5 looks like. This is $5 in longleaf pine needles. And the reason I'm calling this $5 is it's not quite 4 ounces. If it was 4 ounces, it would be like $7. But it's a little less than 4 ounces, but more than 3. So it's like $5. It's definitely $5, between 5 and 6. I'm saying this is $5 right here in my hand. So I'm going to put that in the bag with all the rest. And you can see the whole thing is, the bag is packed. I mean, this bag is really packed. It's, the bag kind of fluffing out, but that's 6 pounds total. So that's, like I said, $150. I would make in my pocket $160. The gross would be 40 times, I'd say 40. Well, let's say 40 times 5, because it'd be more, because I give extra. So it'd be 200 gross, maybe 220 gross, because, okay, 220 gross, and I would make 150 off of this. All right. So I've been out here in front of the house, and what do I do with these longleaf pine needles? I sell them. What do I sell them? I sell them on a website called, I'll spell it out to you. E as in Eddie, T as in Tom, S as in Sam, and Y as in yarn. The name of the website is Etsy. And I sell them on this website, and I sell them for crafts. And people buy these and make things with them, and the things they make, they sell. Some people weave baskets. They weave baskets that are very intricate artwork, and they sell these baskets anywhere from $30 to $1,000. I mean, prices are all over the board, depending on how much time they spent weaving this basket. And I look around on the internet, weaved longleaf pine needle baskets, and I see a lot of them going between $50 and $300. And also they make placemats with these. They make placemats for a table. They make big giant mats. They make mats that hang on the wall, and they weave in intricate artwork into the mat that hangs on the wall. And it's like a piece of art. And they also make wreaths that go on a door for Christmas, New Year's, Halloween, Easter. You name the holiday, they make wreaths out of these longleaf pine needles. And these pine needles range in length. Some of them are 20 inches long, and some of them are 12 inches long. The ones I pick here, a majority are between 14 and up. In my front yard here, and I have some over 20 inches long here that I picked in my front yard. And I have in my front yard, I have 3 trees. 3 trees next to the house, and then 1 tree set back. So I got a total of 4 trees right here in front of the house. I got a bunch of trees in the backyard. I normally pick in the front because it's all my pets. We have dogs and stuff. They're in the backyard. So I normally come and pick in the front. And then when the front runs dry, I go out and pick in other areas. And I'm showing you what's on the ground here. There's some real long ones. My shoe is a size 13, and you can see one on the ground. It's probably around 14 inches long. It's running along my shoe. I didn't place that there. It was just there. And here's some here that fell. The whole branch fell off the tree from windstorm. But so I pick these and I sell them, and I get decent money for them. And I've been doing this for 4 years on a website called Etsy. 4.5 years. And I have tried to sell them and have sold them on other websites, but this is my main website where I really sell them. And I make a nice profit. I'm well known on there. I have a large clientele. I have people that have been buying for years off of me. And I have some people that buy 10 pounds a month. And I have some people that buy a pound a month. And I ship them all over the country. I go all over the United States. I ship them out to California. I'm here in South Carolina. And I ship them out to California. I ship them to Arizona. I ship them down to Florida. I ship them up to Maine. I mean, everywhere. Oregon. I ship them everywhere. Everywhere in the U.S. And I've been doing this for a while. And I also sell vintage books. And what I do is I go to thrift stores and I look for these vintage books. When I say vintage, I mean a book over 20 years old. And I look for books over 20 years old. And I collect the books. I put them up online and I sell them. I buy them in the thrift stores for $1, 50 cents, $2, $4. Sometimes I'll buy a set of something, as I bought the other day, for $12. But the set I bought the other day is worth $200. For me to spend $12 was good, worth it. Even if it's for 6 months and then it sells, I'm going to see a nice profit on that $12. And the other day I went out and I got a lot of books on engineering from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, all the way up to the 80s. And the books I got for the engineering, I spent $31 and I got over $2,000 worth of books. I got 60 some odd books. And I have to put them up and I have to list them and I have to sell them, and it's going to take time, I know that. But I'm going to make a nice profit off of them books. Even if I don't sell them all and I only sell half of the books, I'm going to make a nice profit, because the books that I do sell, I'm going to make a lot of money on. Some of these books range in price between $50 up to $200-$300 per book. I mean, it's crazy. Well, you know, engineering books are some of them are very expensive and very sought after, because they're the books made years ago. Some of them are really set up where they explain everything in a way that people can understand them pretty easy. Where some of the newer books, and that's just some books in general, are really hard to understand, and people don't, it takes them like twice as long to comprehend what's in the book. But if they get sometimes you get an older book, it's more detailed, it simplifies things, and it's easier for you to grasp and understand what's in the book. And that's why people look for these old books. And they like them, and they put them in the shelf, and they pull them out, and they use them for reference, And that's why I grabbed, as soon as I seen the engineering books, I grabbed them. I said, you know what? This is money. This is money here. And I did good. But anyway, let's get off of that and get back to the longleaf pine needles. The longleaf pine needles, I sell over 100 pounds a month. And I've been doing it for such a long time now, 4.5 years, going on 5 in another month or so. I've been doing this so long that I have a large customer base, and I have people that buy these constantly off of me. And I move sometimes 150 pounds in a month. And I average 100 pounds a month throughout the year. And with the books, I average probably around 100 books a month. So I'm constantly listing, and the Lonely Pine Needles, I sell a bunch of different sizes, orders, and I have so many in stock of each size. And when the stock runs low, I re-up the stock and I go out and pick, to collect them. And the books, I try to put 100 books up a month on the internet, if not more, because I do sell 100 books a month. So I have to keep ahead of that. And sometimes I'll put up 200 in a month, and then I won't list for a couple weeks, and I'll just let them sell, and then I'll do it again, and I'll try to get a bunch more up. And I always try to keep so many books in my store. And right now I'm around the 2,000 level with the books. But every time I get really near 2,000, I get beaten back down, they get sold. So, and I can't always list because I've been doing a lot of projects around the house. But now I'm going to try to break 2,000 before the year's up. I would like to get to like 2,050 books or something. Then I know I'll always be over the 2,000 number. Because then next month, if I list 100 books and I sell 100 books, I'll be at 2,150. And that'll keep me at over 2,000 books. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep the inventory up, because the more stuff I have in my store that's showing, and it's the more people, the more traffic I'm going to get, and the more stuff I'm going to sell. That's how I feel anyway. Everybody's different. Everybody does this stuff different. I seen people selling jewelry on there, for an example. They only got 50 different items up there. And while they claim, I don't know. I know what they claim. They claim they make $120,000 a year with 50 listed items of jewelry that they make over and over again, and they keep putting them back up. Now, I don't, I can't doubt them, because I've seen people do stuff like that. Well, with the books, every book is different. I very rarely relist a book, but I do relist books. But a majority of the books that I list are different books. Once in a while, I'll buy a book that I already have listed, but the condition's different. The one book might be like new. The second book I found might be very good. One book might be a first edition, first printing. One book might be a first edition, second printing, or third. So because of that, I can't list them the same. I have to list them separately, because one is very good, one's like new, one's a first printing, one's a third printing. So I'll list them up on a site like that. So sometimes people will Google a book they're looking for on my site, and they'll come up with maybe 2 or 3 of that book. And that's because I have that book in different conditions, and first edition, second editions, possibly even signed. I do get signed books. I have a lot of signed books. And the signed books I usually do pretty well with. I get good money, depending on how collectible the person that signed the book is. And, we're digging a hole back here. We got to bury one of our babies that passed away. And that's why you're seeing a hole dug here. It's a duck. We got to bury the duck. So, got to bury him deep, because I'll tell you what. We had a duck that had passed away, and we buried it, and a fox or something came and dug it up. So, okay, so we know now when you bury an animal, you got to bury him a couple feet down, really a couple feet. And we buried that duck 2 feet down. So this hole here is a little deeper. and we're gonna try something different to maybe sell the try something to keep the. I don't know how. A fox came and dug it up. I don't know, and it was like a week later, and we had to rebury it. It was terrible. So, but this one we're burying a little closer to the house. All right. Enough about the duck talk. But yeah, stuff happens. You know, we have a lot of pets, a lot of cats, dogs. We have a lot of pets. We had some ducks that we had rescued. Peking ducks that were, one couldn't walk right, had arthritis, and we had a total of 3 ducks, and they all had passed away since, and every one of them's been to the vet, and we had them checked out and stuff, and the one had something wrong where they get something in their feet, and their feet, they had problems and they can't walk right, and we had a little pool in the backyard. He'd go in the pool. It was too cold. We'd bring him in the house and put him in the bathtub. Oh my, what we did with these ducks. And the ducks would hang out. The dogs wouldn't bawl, and nobody bothered them. But just to make sure, we kept the male dogs away from the ducks. And we did have an enclosure in the backyard, a big pen that they could go in, and they wouldn't get attacked by any of the dogs if the dogs, got brave. So... But enough about the ducks, all right. So look, guys, if you want to do this, there's money to be made in this. Like I said, I've been doing this for a while. I average around $4,000 a month on the Longleaf pine needles. And there's money to be made in this. All right, over and out, guys.